Hey everybody, welcome back again, and today we're going to be taking a look at another new figure that's just now starting to hit doorsteps, and that's going to be FansToys FT-59 Sovereign 2.0, which is their updated version of a Masterpiece scale Galvatron. So, as we already know, they put out a figure FT-16 years ago, which was their original version of Galvatron. It's a figure that I've always really liked. It's got a very strong presence on the shelf. It's a really nice figure. It's very heavy, really good articulation. So when this figure was announced, I wasn't necessarily super excited about it. I know that there was a lot of debate on some of the message boards and some of the fan groups about this figure, whether it was really necessary or not. So I wasn't too excited for it, as a figure that, oh God, I've got to have that one. But I went ahead and got it anyway, just to see what it was going to be like. So today what we'll be doing is unboxing that figure and giving you kind of my first impressions. And I may do some comparisons with the original figure. I have the original FT-16M, which is Galvatron in the cartoon colors. So I guess without any further delay, let's go ahead and get into this thing and see what we've got. So I got my copy from Agabus. They got theirs in stock late last week and actually got it really quickly. Originally, it wasn't supposed to be here until this coming Saturday, December 14th, I guess. But it actually arrived today, which I was super excited about. Alright, so we've got him out of the packing container, and let's get the slipcover bag off of it. And so looking at it just right off the bat, I love this artwork for these figures. The artist that does all of these artwork for their different products is just, I think, super talented. They really capture the essence of the character and just always just really awesome artwork. So we can see the box. It's a typical FansToys box. It's kind of got an embossed image that has the artwork. So on the front, we've got him in bot mode and alt mode. On the sides, we've just got the name. The bottom, we've got the alt mode. Top, we've got the alt mode, and then on the back we've got some additional renders. I don't know if these are actual product shots on the back of the boxes or if they're 3D renders. I'm pretty sure that they're actual product shots. So you can see them there. We've got a shot with Cyclonus and Scourge. So again, really nice artwork on the box there. And let's go ahead and get him opened up. So he does come with the requisite transformation guide as well as the card. Mine actually has 2 cards. Let's see what this is about. So I actually got 2 copies of the Sovereign card, which really nice looking, typical FansToys. And then let's go ahead and get the styrofoam off of him. All right, and there we have him. This off to the side. So let's take a look first at the accessories. So we've got some blast effect accessories, similar to what we had with the first release. We've got one that's just a cannon blast. This is multiple pieces that fit together. And then this is kind of the curved blast if you want to put him on a flight stand and kind of have him his cannon being used as a thruster to fly around. So we've got a little bit of that curve to kind of give it that, motion of action and direction. So pretty standard there. They are pretty heavy. We do have an adapter that you can use, looks like, to connect him to the original Sovereign flight stand, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at that with mine. And we do have a matrix. This thing is really heavy. I don't really remember the original one. I know it's still in my box. I never actually put it or displayed it with the figure, but really pretty matrix there. Looks really good in the light. Very nice, very nice. And it doesn't feel like that cheap cast metal or cast aluminum. It actually feels like it may be stainless steel, perhaps. We've got a couple of different arm cannons. So we've got a toy version of the arm cannon and a toon version of the arm cannon. So again, same as the original FT-16. The shape on this cannon is a little bit different looking than that original figure, it looks like. And then we've got the base of the cannon. Again, painted plastic, really nice looking. I'll have to go back and look at the original FT-16. I can't remember if those were separate pieces or not, to be honest. And then we've got a bag full of faces. So we've got a number of different faces. We've got kind of a mad laughing face. Really pretty color there on the eyes. It's a very metallic, almost a satin metallic, very nice looking. We've got kind of looks like maybe an agony, kind of a look of agony, pain, I guess. We've got another angry face. I have to say, there's all these faces here. This is probably a field day for the folks that do stop motion animation with these figures. We've got another face here with a little bit of a smirk. Another face with a little bit of a grimace. It looks like his teeth are gritted. Another somewhat semi-angry face. A screaming face. It's kind of neat how the eyes are turned down a little bit there from the other ones. And then we've got kind of the stoic looking face, or the look of disapproval. So wow, that's 8 different faces aside from the one that's on the figure itself, which is a lot. That's pretty cool that they included all those. And so let's get to the figure himself. So it's a really pretty figure. The color is definitely different from the original movie color version of Sovereign, their initial Sovereign release. This one is a little bit more of a satin look to it, and it's very similar to how they did the Cyclonus and the Scourge. So you could tell that, FT-16M, for example, was much more metallic than the movie versions of the figures that came out for Cyclonus, and then obviously Scourge was just in the animation colors. So yeah, really pretty satin, kind of deep bluish purple. Let's take a look at the articulation. So one thing I will stop here. So I know that there are a couple things that have to be done. I've seen some videos already online about some changes that have to be made to kind of clean up the look of it. I know this back piece here has to clean up a little bit, and the kneecaps have to slide up, which that one slides up pretty easily. This one, okay, that one slid up pretty easily. So let's take a look at his articulation. So looking at the head, we go all the way around. He's got a little bit of down, a little bit of up, nothing really side to side. The arms, looks like we go all the way around on a very soft ratchet. We can go up this way. We do have a swivel at the bicep, and we've got a little bit better than 90 degrees at the elbow. The hand is on looks like a ball joint. Let's see, let's take a look in here. Yeah, the hand is on a ball joint. It's got, the newer style of fingers that FansToys has been using the last couple of years. If you remember the fingers on their original Sovereign release, they were a lot bigger and a lot chunkier than this. So he's got articulation at all three knuckles. My thumb on this one is really super loose. I think maybe the screw here needs to be tightened. But it's, the typical articulation that we've come to expect from the FansToys hands. So for the waist, we've got a ratcheted waist swivel. It actually goes all the way around. There is a little bit of an ab crunch. I imagine that's probably part of the transformation. And I don't know if I just messed something up here. Okay, that clips back in there. For the legs, and the legs go up a good way. And one thing I'm noticing really right off the bat is the hip skirts here are not the traditional hip skirts that you see on FansToys figures. These actually remind me of the hip skirts that Magic Square was using on their Combaticons, where that skirt kind of rolls up with the leg as you bend it. But I don't know, it doesn't look like it is individually articulated. No, it's not. It just, the whole thing moves up. We've got a swivel at the thigh. So we've got all the way up, all the way back. There is a little bit of a hip skirt back here that lets you get that leg back about that far. The shape here of the upper leg, though, kind of precludes it from going any further than that. We've got the side hip skirts. At the knees, we've got a really good knee joint there. It goes better than 90 degrees. And it looks like this is articulated a little bit separately from the knee pad. So I think it's hard to tell if that locks in or not. Then looking at the feet, so we've got some ankle tilts. We've got a little bit of toe up and toe down, not a whole lot. And then we don't have any turn in the ankle. But I'm really having a difficult time figuring this out, how this is supposed to be. I don't know if that is supposed to lock in there or not. I don't see anything that looks like a lock, so I guess not. One thing here is my kneecap here seems a little bit loose. It's not like, well, I guess it is like that on both of them. If his leg is straightened up, it doesn't move. So yeah, the articulation is exactly what you would expect from a FansToy figure. Let's look at his cannon. So one thing I know from what I've seen is they've made several different mounting points for the cannon. I'm not sure exactly how this works, and I don't have my spudger with me. I know that this folds down somehow, and that cannon can either mount here at the bend in the elbow, or it can mount on the side of the arm. If you remember from the original release, there was a single mounting point on each arm that mounted kind of on the forearm, and it was just a little bit of a peg that just slotted into that hole. So on this one, we've got the cannon, we've got this T-slot here that we can slide the cannon in, and then the base of the cannon fits in here. Let's a little bit of an awkward position here. So these two pieces fit together like this, and then that T-slot holds the cannon. And then there we go. So yeah, overall a really good looking figure. Really pleased with it. Let's bring in the original FansToys Sovereign release and just take a look. So I didn't realize, the pictures of this don't really do it justice. I didn't realize how different these looked. You know, when they first announced Sovereign 2.0, it looked so similar, but it was probably because I hadn't looked at the figure on my shelf in so long, but I had really forgotten how dated this guy looks now compared to the new one. I think they've done a really good job of kind of flowing the different body parts and giving it more of that organic look like he had in the original 1986 movie. You know, everything just flows better together, from his biceps to the forearms, from the lower legs up to the thighs. This guy now looking at him, it just looks like he's standing on two cans of biscuits. One thing that I do appreciate that they did, so the original figure, I know a lot of people had a problem where the cannon wouldn't really stay attached to his hand very well, or his forearm very well. I never really had that problem too bad. It stays pretty well for me, but I know people did complain about it flopping off. I appreciate that they gave this a more secure attachment point to that. Now I said that, now mine is not holding too well. I will say the articulation in the arms, especially on the original Sovereign release, is a little bit better. He is more blocky looking, the original one. And one thing that I did point out, you know, the paint on this original, the FTM variant, is much more metallic, I think, than this guy. This guy definitely bridges the gap of that toon accuracy and kind of what they did with the later re-release of their Cyclonus figure in the movie colors, and then what they did with their Scourge release. So they both have kind of that same satin sheen to them, and they go really well together. One of the things that, you know, I didn't like about it was, you know, especially the Scourge, since that was the only version of that they released, didn't really go well with the paint scheme of this version of Sovereign 1.0. So yeah, overall, I would say I'm really pleased with the figure. As far as a recommendation goes, I think if you don't have a Galvatron in Masterpiece scale and you want one, I think this guy is probably the way to go. You know, if you've already got the original 1.0 version of it. It's really a toss-up. This figure still looks really, really good. I don't necessarily know that it's worth the extra expense to actually upgrade and get the new guy. You could sell the original version, but obviously the resale prices are probably going to tank now that this new one is out. But overall, I think I would recommend it. I'm really pleased with it. I think it looks really good. I think they did a really good job with it. I know we've got possibly a release coming of an X-Transbots version of this. I think years ago we had maybe a DX9 version of Galvatron. There really haven't been a whole lot of choices as far as masterpiece scale goes for Galvatron figures. We've been pretty much limited to the FansToys version. So there hasn't been a whole lot to compare to, but I think we'll have to see what happens, what X-Transbots does if they ever release that Galvatron figure. I know they did initial renders probably 6 or 7 years ago of it, so I know it's been available for pre-order for a hell of a long time. So we'll have to see what they do, if they just put their hands up and give up on it, or if they go ahead and bring it to market. I don't know. We'll see. But overall, super happy with the figure. He looks really good. I think he will probably replace my existing one, and I'll probably box this guy up and put him away for later use. So I really appreciate everybody sticking around and watching this and doing this unboxing with me. And if you like what you see here, please like it, please subscribe, and I'll keep doing more content. Thanks.